Um, Good morning, everyone, and Gong Hei Fa Choi. Happy New Year if you celebrate Lunar New Year. Um, our practice this week is going to be more kind of heart-opening, shoulder-focused. In contrast to last week, we were heavy focused in the hips, and I really like the combination of these two practices. If you didn't take class last week, totally fine, but um, by beginning with the very focused lower body practice last week and then building onto that, as we open through the upper body, we have that foundation of our roots at play. And then in terms of heart space intention, there's a couple things circulating in my mind, but I had a really, really emotionally turbulent dream that I woke up from 30 minutes ago, so my nervous system is still settling. But other than that turbulence, the kind of two things that have been really present with me this week are, again, this marking of the Lunar New Year. And I don't know, I think after we have January 1st and there's a lot of maybe expectation with that, we have this Lunar New Year, which is another opportunity just to check in with any intentions that maybe you set, or an opportunity to kind of revise, edit, and reset again, shifting from the year of the snake into the year of the horse, and the energy, the momentum, the action that can come with that, and getting clear in what are we hoping to put into action. And the other thing that I wanted to offer this morning is that our yoga practice is this continual journey. It's continual in the sense that we arrive time and time again to the physical mat, and we get to be in this journey from whenever we begin to as long as we go, but with this ever-changing body, heart, and mind, right? And it's also this continual practice in the sense that when we step off of our yoga mat, that awareness that we have cultivated, the mindfulness that we've tapped into while in physical practice or meditation, it doesn't end. We take that and it goes with us into the rest of our day and the rest of our week. And so this continuation, both from our 60 minutes into our everyday and the way in which we move through the world and live, and the continuation over time as our bodies, hearts, and minds evolve and change, and we are constantly in a state of learning and gathering new information, right? Throughout a given day, our bodies and our minds are constantly taking in new sensation, new information, new stimulus. And so every time we step to our yoga mat, we have more, right, experience, more information than we did the last time. So just knowing today we get to share a moment in time and space along a long trajectory. So anyhow, there's a lot percolating in here. But we're going to start in Shavasana this morning. So go ahead and lay back and take a moment just to settle in. As you start to adjust to the earth, as you sink and settle and your bones drop heavy, as your eyes soften shut, go ahead and take a deep inhale right away. And then sigh to exhale that breath out. Feel a sense of release and surrender into the support beneath you and into this moment right here, right now. Bring some extra attention and awareness to the space of your heart, right? The energetic and emotional space of your heart, but also the physical space of your body, your chest, your neck, your shoulders. Your shoulder blades in contact with the earth. And let your awareness trickle down to your fingertips and just notice what's present in this area of your body this morning, today. As you continue to draw awareness to the space of your body, let your breath continue to deepen. Maybe consider where you are at in terms of a process, a journey, a practice with your heart space. Again, this can be in terms of your physical body. How does this space of your body feel today? Especially if you have maybe an injury, whether it's more recent or maybe something of the past. And you can also inquire about the journey of your heart space in terms of a particular emotion, the openness of your heart. The practice of allowing love to flow freely. The practice of giving and receiving love and compassion. And then one more little inquiry. Maybe one of these kind of resonates a bit more vibrantly or louder than another, and you can carry that thread with you throughout practice. In this marking of a new year, as we transition from the energy of shedding of the year of the snake and into the momentum and the energy of the year of the horse, what are we hoping to put into action, to put energy and momentum behind? And how can we plant that seed this morning through our practice, through our intentional awareness and our mindfulness on the mat? As you take a few more breaths, again, if there is something in particular that's kind of stuck as an anchor point for your practice this morning, or something you'd like to hold in your heart, your mind as you move and breathe, kind of honing in on that intention. And then we'll breathe around that intention. So let your next inhale be really full and expansive, and feel your breath wrap around that intention that you set. And when you're ready, an open mouth exhale, let that intention move out. Let it be known through your exhale, put into action. Maybe one more time, a deep inhale in, breathing into your intention. And through your exhale, just sending it out into the world, into the universe, planting that seed. As you continue to feel your breath, maybe shifting into your Ujjayi pranayama now. Focused, intentional breath in and out of your nose. Start to find some small movements to your fingers, your toes, ankles, and wrists. Then with an in-breath, start to reach your hands up and overhead until you arrive in your full body stretch. And then go ahead and gather your knees to your chest just for a moment. Feel the length that that provides to your low back and take a little sway from side to side. Then we're going to set up for a hamstring stretch. So with your knees bent, place your feet down to the earth like your bridge setup. Pelvis stays grounded. Reach your right leg up to the ceiling. Hands might catch the back of your right leg and just gently encourage your right leg in the direction of your heart space. You might point, flex, circle through your right ankle. Maybe take your right leg little bit to the left across the midline of your body and see how that shifts the sensation. And release your right foot down to the earth. We will transition into our bridge pose now. So once you have both feet firmly anchored, take a breath. Begin to press into your feet and lift your pelvis. And maybe find a little tucking of your shoulder blades behind your heart, feeling the openness at your front line. If you notice that your knees kind of splay a little wide, imagine a block between your inner knees to hug into. And then we're going to be moving into a figure 4 here, right ankle on left thigh. You have the option to keep your hips lifted in this bridge, or you can lower your hips to the earth first. Right? Either way, we're going to go right ankle on left thigh, flex your right ankle. Go ahead and feel the openness at your right hip. Take a nice deep breath in. And then if your hips are still lifted, exhale, hips down to the ground. Slide your right thigh across into your eagle legs. Let your knees tip to the left for your eagle leg twist. Release your right shoulder back and down. Maybe look to the right side of the room and take a moment, take a breath. And we'll start to slowly bring our knees back to center. Place your right foot to the earth. And then starting with our second side hamstring stretch, lengthen your left leg tall. Maybe your hands facilitate the stretch to gently guide your left leg towards your heart space. Take a moment to explore any movement you want to add in here. And you can find movement through your toes, your ankle. Maybe you keep your left hip really rooted and tip your left foot across the midline to the right and just see how that changes the experience. And go ahead and place your right foot down to the earth for our second round of bridge pose. Take a breath. And exhale, begin the process of root to rise energy, hips to the sky. Maybe find that imaginary block between your inner knees. Hug in. As you light up your center, take a moment feeling the push into the earth, create extra energy in your body, using the earth as leverage to light up. And then again, you can keep your hips lifted or you can drop your pelvis to the ground, but we're going to engage through our strong center in figure 4, left ankle on right thigh. Especially if your hips are lifted, just kind of be curious of keeping your low back super clear and be finding evenness through your hip bones. Feel your tailbone reach slightly forward, and then take a nice deep breath in once again. And on an exhale, hips release to the earth. Eagle leg twist, slide your left thigh across, let your knees spill over to the right. Feel your collarbones stretch wide across your heart. Maybe look to the left side of the room. Just find one slow and steady breath. Follow an inhale back to the center line. Unwind your legs, knees to heart space. And take a couple rocks along the length of your spine, and we'll meet in a tabletop. So once you find tabletop, we're going to go fingers nice and wide. And we'll start with one round of just our traditional cat-cow, and then we'll do a little exploration. So with your breath in, start to lift your heart and tailbone, find your cow pose. And then as you exhale, push the earth away, tuck and round to find cat. Then arrive back at your neutral tabletop. We're going to find a little bit of movement through our scapula, our shoulder blades. So keep your arms straight. Start to draw your shoulder blades together behind your heart space, letting your sternum reach towards your thumbs. And then notice if your elbows bend, that's really likely. Press length back into your arms, but feel again that kind of, it's almost like you're sinking your sternum to the earth as your shoulder blades draw together. Maybe find a little shift forwards and backwards. And then keeping this action, maybe find a little lift of the heart and tailbone, just like a baby cow spine, letting your heart continue to kind of sink and shoulder blades draw together. And start to press back into neutral, into tabletop. We're going to begin the action of our cat pose with that opposite action. So arms stay straight, just push into the earth and feel the back of your heart begin to kind of puff up between your scapula, between your shoulder blades. And then from that puff up action, then go into your cat pose. Continue to push as you tuck through your chin and your tailbone. Maybe shift a little forwards and backwards and just notice how that feels. Okay, we'll move through neutral. One more opening to prepare for down dog. Hips stay high, so stacked right over your knees. Puppy pose, Anahatasana. Walk your hands forward and dive your forehead or your chest to the earth. Getting that big stretch through your shoulders and your heart space. This can be more active if you want to press into the ground. Kind of drag energetically back in space, creating traction for your spine. Once you feel complete here, slowly, gently push the earth away. And then walk it back in to find downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Send your pelvis up and back. Release, relax through your head. Maybe take a paddle through your feet. Notice how your down dog feels after finding a little attention to the shoulders before arriving here. In your down dog, you might experiment with that movement of your shoulder blades again. So maybe you let your sternum, as it presses up and back to your thighs, kind of lead the action of drawing your rib cage back. Feel your shoulders drop to your ears. And then finding the opposite, let your shoulders slide away from your ears, shoulder blades slide down your back body, crown towards your fingertips. Maybe do it one more time. Again, think about your rib cage pulling up and back. Shoulders drop towards your ears a little bit as you push the earth away. And let your shoulder blades then slide down your back body as you reach your crown towards your fingertips. Okay, from here we're going to take a little walk to our forward fold, top of the yoga mat. Bend through your knees really generously. Your head fall heavy to the earth. Maybe ragdoll through your arms as you take a little sway from side to side. And let your arms be heavy, head heavy. We're going to super slowly roll to rise. So on your next breath in, tailbone dropping to the earth, slowly stack up through your spine. Feeling the weight of your arms, emphasize that stretch between your shoulder blades, weight of your head also helping create that space at the back of your heart. Head last to lift. When you get to the top, do a little shoulder shrug. Shoulders go up, back, and down. And then we're going to do a big elbow circle to goddess arms. So hands out in front of you, turn the backs of your hands together. That's going to internally rotate your shoulders. Big breath in, reach up to the sky. And exhale into goddess arms, flipping palms to face your ears as you open in goddess arms. Good, inhale, hands reach high. And exhale to soften your knees and slowly dive forward to your forward fold. We'll take a halfway lift as we breathe in. Maybe lean a little bit forward with that action of lengthening. And then high plank on your breath out. Plant your hands, step your feet back. And in your high plank, we'll do one of those little scapular slides or scapular push-ups. So keep your arms straight, core and thighs strong, glutes active. And let your heart dip towards your thumbs. Arms stay straight. Shoulder blades slide towards each other. And then big push, back of the heart puffs to the sky. With an inhale, glide forward to your tippy toes. And then knees up or down, we exhale slowly to the earth. Reaching from crown to elbows as we descend. Untuck your toes, breathe into your low cobra. And then exhale, lowers you down. Setting up for our gecko pose, adjust your hands wider than your yoga mat, hands about in line with your chest, elbows towards the sky. With an inhale, begin to peel your heart up. This can be just a little bit. You can push into your hands to lift higher. When you're ready, let your left shoulder dip towards the midline or towards the right side of your mat. You're going to look to the right side of the room. The big breath in brings you through center. And then exhale, second side, right shoulder reaches towards center. Look to the left. And then deep breath to return to the midline once again. Exhale, lowers you straight down. Hands will draw in to frame your rib cage. With your next inhale, take either up dog or cobra you choose. Really active lower body here. Actively kick down to the tops of your feet. Reach to the crown of your head. And then downward facing dog. And once you find down dog, let an in-breath sweep your left leg to the sky. And your exhale, bend your knee and open your hip. Breathe back into your three-legged dog. Re-extend your left leg. With your exhale, draw your left knee to your nose, pushing into the earth as you shift forward. Three-legged dog, deep inhale, left leg lifts. And your exhale, step your left foot forward to the top of your yoga mat, low lunge. We'll inhale to one round of cow, so right knee can sink to hover or tap the ground. Activate through your glutes, your inner thighs. With an exhale, go ahead and lengthen your legs to one cat lunge, one hamstring stretch, diving down towards your left thigh. Okay, from here, we'll bend into our front knee. And we're going to find a side angle pose. So right heel spins down to the earth like warrior two. I'm going to twist right hand to the sky. So options here, your left hand can be on the earth or on a block. Maybe press through your feet and pop up left elbow to thigh. Okay, from whatever level you're at, we're going to take a breath to reverse our triangle. So when strong, root into your feet. Lengthen your entire left side. Let your left hand sweep up and overhead. In your reverse triangle, go ahead and bend at your left elbow. Bring your fingertips towards that space between your shoulder blades. And then think about leaning the back of your skull into your left forearm. Then use that connection of skull and forearm to gently create some stretch around your shoulders. So think press forearm and head into each other. We're going to start to sneak our right hand behind us, moving towards a half bind. And we'll go to our half bound side angle, bend into your left knee. Left forearm can come to rest on your thigh. And either you're going to scooch your right fingertips towards your left hip crease. Okay, if that's not available, no worries. Bring the back of your right hand to your low back. And then everyone, you're going to widen your right collarbone across your chest. Bending at your right wrist joint to press your right elbow to the wall behind you. Front ribs draw in. And then take one more moment here. Okay, from here, we're going to reverse our triangle. So just exiting the way we came in. Deep in-breath to lengthen up and back. Then traveling through your exhale, turn towards your star pose. All 10 toes forward, hands go high. And then into a goddess squat, bring your heels in. In this first round, we're going to go hands to thighs. Maybe take a little sway left to right as you feel into your hips. Deep breath in, find a proud chest. An exhale, similar to our gecko, we're going to dip left shoulder towards the midline and twist towards the back of our yoga mats. Maybe look over your right shoulder. And follow an inhale to come back to center. And exhale to switch right shoulder dips in, twist towards the front of your yoga mat. Maybe look over your left shoulder. Okay, from here we return to center. Slowly press into your feet, big circle sweep to stand tall. We transition through a warrior to the front of our yoga mat, so spin your right heel away so you can turn your left toes all the way forward. Windmill down into a low lunge, square it off to the top of your yoga mat, and step forward to your chair pose. Right foot's going to meet your left. So to find your way into Utkatasana, deep breath in. With exhale, either hands to heart or airplane your arms. Begin to lean into your right foot. And then when you're ready, flamingo your left heel towards your seat. Take a second to focus your gaze out in front of you, find your drishti. And then inhale to rise tall, one-legged mountain, reach to the sky. With your exhale, we'll shift into figure four, maybe hands return to heart center. As you sink back and down through your pelvis into your one-legged chair. Activate through your left ankle, kick your outer left ankle into the top of your right thigh, and then use a breath to lengthen from crown to tailbone. Good. From here, we're going to rise up and out just enough to slide our left thigh across so we have eagle legs, Gurudasana legs. Good. Bending them a little bit more deeply into your right knee so you can ease your knees forward and bring your shoulders back to stack over your hips. Okay, here we go. We're going to take a slow unwinding into our airplane pose to get us to high crescent lunge. Just slow motion unravel. Reach your left toes back. Take a nice big breath in. When you're ready, high crescent, place your left tippy toes to the earth and reach up to the sky. Finding an inhale, proud chest. On your exhale, goddess, your arms, elbows open wide. Pause within the goddess. Take a breath in again. And this time as you exhale, your hands fall to interlace behind you. Right thumb goes on top. Start with your elbows bent, maybe hands resting on your sacrum, and pull your elbows and shoulder blades towards each other, towards the midline. You can stay there or you can lengthen your arms. Spin your left heel down to the earth so you have warrior feet. It can be more like warrior one or warrior two. Either is fine. Inhale to puff your heart up to the sky. And exhale, humble warrior, dive towards the inside of your right leg. Let your head be heavy. Reach through your knuckles. Take one generous breath in. Then on your exhale, release your hands to the earth to frame your right foot. As you turn onto your left tippy toes, adjust your left foot for your three-legged dog. Right leg's going up and back. Use an inhale to reach your right leg to the sky, three-legged. On exhale, bend your right knee, open your hip. Inhale to re-extend your right leg, three-legged dog. With your exhalation, draw knee to nose as you shift forward. Push into the earth to lift your right thigh high into your heart. And then three-legged dog, re-extend with your breath. Slowly step your right foot forward between your hands. As you arrive, take one round of cow lunge. Left knee is going to dip to your hover or to a tap. And you feel the engagement of your lower body here, inner thighs, glutes. And eventually start to lengthen your legs for your hamstring moment, your cat lunge. As you bend into your front knee again, you're setting up for that deep side angle moment, so left heel lowers to the earth. Think warrior two through your feet. Twist your left into the sky to open your chest. Remember, your right hand can be on the earth, a block, or you can bring it up right elbow to right thigh. Strong through your roots. With an inhale, reverse your triangle, lengthen up and back. Maybe you start to add in that half bind of your left arm behind you already. And then go ahead and reach your right fingertips to that space between your shoulder blades. And then lift your chin away from your chest. Maybe adjust and use that connection between the back of your skull and your right forearm to find a shoulder stretch through your right shoulder. Okay, from here, we'll take it into our half bound side angle. So bend into your right knee. You can use your right forearm on your thigh to help rotate your heart around. And again, can we start to chicken wing left elbow, left shoulder to the wall behind us? While we draw front ribs in, maybe lengthen your tailbone to your left heel a little bit. Take about one more breath in your half bind. Feeling your hips draw forward, heart draws back, so your body becomes one plane. And then we reverse our triangle, big breath in, reach up and back. Good, exhale through your star pose into goddess squat. This time elbows go wide, goddess squat. I'm going to flip around to face you, but you'll stay facing the left side of the room. In your goddess squat, go ahead and send your arms wide to a capital T, and then eagle wrap your right arm underneath your left. Good. From here, with the breath in, begin to lift your elbows. Think about pushing your elbows forward and up. Cow your spine, so big arch. As you press your elbows forward and up, think about reaching your fingertips over your head to the wall behind you. With an exhale, super slow, you're going to tuck and curl. Think about doing a crunch with your eagle arms. Chin to chest, hands moving away from your face. Shoulder blades spread wide. With an inhale, slowly lift your elbows up again. Think again, elbows going forward and up, fingertips go overhead. And your exhale, unravel through goddess arms and send your arms wide, that capital T. Switching sides, we're going to eagle wrap left arm underneath right. With an inhale, press your elbows forward and up. Think fingertips going over your head, heart proud. And exhale, slowly crunch and round. Really feel that space behind your heart broadening, widening. So you bring chin to chest and aim your fingertips to the earth. Tuck through your tailbone. Okay, here we go. We'll inhale, elbows go forward and up like you're going to try to take your arms over your head. Maybe lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale through goddess arms. Stretch your hands wide to that capital T. Reach through your fingertips. Slowly root to rise, circle sweep to the sky. Okay, warrior to the front. So you'll be bending into your right knee. And then windmill down into your low lunge to the top of your yoga mat. Once your hips are square, step forward to your chair pose, Utkatasana. Just give yourself a moment to settle in. Take a big breath to help emphasize the extension through your spine. And then on an exhale, you can keep your hands lifted or hands maybe to heart center, possibly airplane arms. So you shift into your powerful left leg, flamingo your right heel up and in. And then take a moment to breathe into your one-legged mountain root to rise. You're finding that focus point for your eyes to help you find stability. Figure 4, right ankle on your left thigh, and arms of your choosing. And then take a moment and take a breath. Maybe fall over like me. You can always stay right here. Otherwise, we're going to rise up a little bit so we can slide a right thigh across eagle legs. Now, when we go from our figure 4 to our eagle legs, we're kind of in a hinge. So we're going to start to bend a little bit more deeply through our left leg. Start to ease knees and hips forward and shoulders back. Gurudasana legs. Good. Super slow. We're going to travel through airplane into high crescent. So you might just pass through it, or maybe you give your airplane an extra breath if you're feeling pretty steady. You eventually meet in our high crescent lunge. Right tippy toes arrive to the back of your yoga mat. You'll use an inhale to reach your hands to the sky. Exhale to your goddess arms, elbows open wide. Pause in that goddess action. Maybe think about using your shoulder blades at the back of your heart to kind of boost your heart forward and up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then hands fall to interlace behind you, left thumb on top. Feel your front ribs draw in gently. Squeeze your shoulder blades and elbows towards each other. Option to lengthen your arms or to keep your elbows bent. Rotate your right heel down so you have your warrior legs. And take an in-breath to get proud at your heart. On your exhale, option to dive forward into your humble warrior. And then try to let your head really fall heavy here. Maybe actively reach through your knuckles to draw the heads of your shoulders away from your ears. And from here, we'll release our hands to the earth. Spin onto your right tippy toes so you're in a low lunge. And then step back into your high plank. Take a big breath in. With exhale, either chaturanga or a downward facing dog. Maybe find a little pedal through your feet whenever you get back to your down dog. Then take a yes and no through your head to release your neck. You can do a little scapular slide moment. It's getting used to allowing some movement around the shoulder blades. And then we're going to take that layer, that flow, and we're going to build into it. So we'll inhale left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. With your exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. Stay or option to flip into your wild thing for a moment. Maybe you bring your left tippy toes to the earth. Rotating your heart open to the sky, big reach through your left fingertips. We'll meet back in our three-legged dog. Take all the time you need to bring left hand to the earth. Deep in-breath reaches left leg high. Exhale your left knee to your nose. Slow and strong, shift forward. Inhale, three-legged dog, re-extend. On your breath out, step your left foot to the top of your yoga mat. Side angle, spin your right heel to the earth. And opening to the right, reach your right hand to the sky. And reverse your triangle, slow and strong. Push the earth away, root to rise. Your exhale, stretch your left fingertips to the space between your shoulder blades. Lift your chin away from your chest. So your head and your forearm connect. Start to find your half bind. And finding half bound side angle, bend into your left knee, bring it down a level. You can stay with your half bind. You could go to your full bind, wrapping around your left leg. You could also go to Bird of Paradise if you want to explore that for a moment. If you have the half bind that we started with, you could also really root through your right foot to help power on your right side core, and you could reach your left hand forward for a little extra core challenge. Yeah. Or you're wrapping around your left leg for your full bind for a moment, perhaps. Whatever calls to you. If you're in a Bird of Paradise, take all the time that you need. We're all going to reverse our triangle. So just like we did in the first layer, we exit through a reverse triangle. Deep breath in, no rush to get here. On your exhale, windmill down into your low lunge to the top of your yoga mat. For this cycle, step forward to a forward fold first. Right foot meets your left. Deep breath in to lift up halfway and reset. Exhale, forward fold, release. Soften through your knees and take your time to slowly roll to rise with your next breath in. At the top, exhale through a little shoulder shrug. Then inhale through a big arm circle into goddess arms. After you've arrived in goddess arms, gather hands to heart center. Shift your weight into your right foot and lift your left knee up for your one-legged mountain. You can always stay right here, Otherwise, we'll go figure 4, left ankle on right thigh. Okay, from here, if you'd like to find your eagle arms, maybe you wrap your left arm underneath your right. You can keep your figure 4 legs. You're in a figure 4 eagle arm situation, or you can find that little lift up and out to slide your left leg across, and you're in your eagle pose. You can bend into your standing leg to ease your shoulders back over your hips to stack. Now you might keep or release your eagle arms as we slowly unwind through an airplane moment, and you can pass through or you can give it a breath. And just like we did before, we're going to step our left toes to the earth and unravel into high crescent lunge. Breathe in, feel your ribcage float away from your pelvis. On your exhale, goddess your arms. Good. Take one more breath into your goddess arms. For this layer, let your hands just melt down to the earth to frame your right foot. And you turn all 10 toes to the left and take a little wide-legged forward fold. As you take your wide-legged forward fold, you can also bend one knee and then the other, shifting hips side to side a bit before we travel through the second side of this last big standing layer. We'll eventually bend into right knee, front knee, and rotate to face forward, top of the yoga mat. Adjust your left toes for your 3-legged dog, and here we go. Right leg lifts up and back, 3-legged, big in-breath to facilitate. Exhale to bend your knee, open your hip. Stay or option to step into your wild thing for a moment. Take your time to find your way back to a 3-legged dog, keeping hips high. Deep breath in, reaches your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward. Inhale, 3-legged dog, right leg re-extends. With your out breath, place your right foot to the top of your yoga mat. Adjusting for side angle, lower your left heel to the earth. Peel open to the left hand high. Big push, reverse your triangle as you inhale. Maybe finding your half bind, maybe a moment of right forearm and back of skull connection. And then we'll start to go into our half bound side angle, full bind or bird of paradise. Again, lots of options here. Can we find a little bit of containment at the front of our ribs, just so that we make sure our low back has support. If you're in the half bind, again, you could reach your right hand forward, making sure, again, your front ribs are really knit in, and you're rotating your collarbones to face the side wall. If you're in a bird of paradise, you might spend a couple extra breaths here, and then slowly find your way back to join us when you're ready. But we'll all exit through a reverse triangle, so just reversing out the way we came in. And inhale to lengthen up and out as you are ready. Exhale to the top of your yoga mat, low lunge. And then take a big step into your forward fold. Left foot meets your right. Soften your knees, dive down for a moment, maybe take a little wiggle. And then deep breath to lift halfway. Maybe lean slightly forward into the front of your feet. And release as you are ready. Soft knees roll to rise. Let the entire length of your inhale be that journey up, pulling your front ribs in. A little exhale through shoulder shrug at the top. Option for a big arm circle to goddess arms as well. Presenting your heart up to the ceiling. And we'll gather hands to heart center. Okay, here we go, the second side of our standing balance. To finish off our effort, we shift into left foot. Begin to lift your right leg as you're ready. And you find steadiness in your breath. You could stay right here through the lower body. Maybe you move into a figure 4, right ankle on left thigh. If you're wanting to incorporate your eagle arms as you press your hips back in space, eagle wrap right arm underneath left. Hug your arms together. Press fingertips to palm. Again, you could stay right here, or maybe you press up and out just a little bit to slide right there across into eagle legs. Working over time to bring our hips even and square, which can be really tricky in the eagle legs since we're in this big pretzel situation. Find intention in the eagle arms. You can keep them or release them. We'll slowly unravel through airplane to high crescent. And if you're feeling strong and steady, you can take longer there. My body is like, let's go right away to 2 feet on the earth. Unravel your arms, reach up high, take a big breath. And when you're ready, exhale, goddess arms. Take an extra inhale. Maybe chin lifts up to the ceiling, a little balance challenge. And exhale your hands down to the ground. Turning all 10 toes to the right, wide-legged forward fold. Maybe a sway of your torso from side to side. Or you could go back into that bend of one knee and then the other, taking your hips left to right. We're going to bend our left knee and rotate to face forward. Yeah, so we're in a low lunge facing forward. We're moving towards Gomukhasana legs. So you're going to lean into your left foot, tuck your right knee behind and land it to the earth on the outside of your left foot. Yeah, you're going to bring your hips down to the ground and then slide left knee over right. I feel like I got lost in that transition. At the top of your yoga mat, we're finding Gomukhasana legs. So similar to our eagle legs, these are the upper leg, left knee stacked over right, shin split, sitting bones grounded. Now this is a pretty big ask of the lower body, so if this isn't working for you, other options would be double pigeon, left shin on top of right, or cross-legged seat, left shin in front. Yeah. And then we're going to do a little experiment with the upper body here. We'll take this left and right sides, and then we'll be on the earth. So once you have your lower body hip opening, I like to bring hands to my lower body. So if I'm in like a cross-legged seat or double pigeon, hands to knees. And then if I'm in Gomukhasana, I usually catch like my shin bones. I'm going to think about first pulling myself into good posture, to a really proud chest. So can I pull sternum forward and through, shoulder blades gently draw together. And then pulling myself forward and through, maybe you can find a little tip to spill the front of your pelvis forward. So imagine your pelvis is a bowl. Imagine you're trying to spill water out the front of it. Now after you found that really tall, proud posture, think about continuing to draw your shoulder blades together as you send your belly forward. So more of a hinge nor a fold. If I'm in Gomukhasana legs and I keep my torso super upright and just think about moving my abdomen forward, I don't need to go very far to feel that deepening of the stretch. Then you can always stay right here or take a big breath in, proud chest. And as you exhale, you're going to allow a little bit of the opposite. So just allow yourself to tuck in round, like your cat spine, heavy head. Maybe a slight tuck of your tailbone. And I find this gets into a very sticky part of the hips. It's almost a little bit more intense, actually, than the neutral spine. So tailbone is dropping to the earth, head heavy. And then we'll inhale to sit up. Your exhale, unwind your legs. Feel free to take a little windshield wiper moment. And then we'll explore second side. So for the lower half, you have the option of Gomukhasana, right knee stacked on top of left this time. Double pigeon, right shin stacked on top of left. Or cross-legged seat, right shin in front of left. Maybe use your hands, your upper body, to pull yourself forward and up, really proud heart space. Drawing energy at the back of the heart to open your front line. And maybe from there you find a little tip forward. And probably don't need much. And you feel that energetic spilling forward at the bowl of your pelvis. Especially if you're in a double pigeon or Gomukhasana, flexed ankles to support our knee joints. Take a breath in here. And on exhale, find a little bit of a tuck and round forward, catting your spine. Head heavy. I don't know, like a seated cat. And take a breath. Feel free to spend a little extra time here. Otherwise, you'll rise up, unwind your legs, and we're going to lay down. So maybe anchor through your feet and take a slow, controlled journey to the earth from the strength of your core. And also just hug your knees in and relax back. We're going to meet in a full body stretch as you arrive. Reach from fingertips to toes. Big breath in. And then as we exhale, I'd like to take a little crescent moon shape here. So hips will stay at center. Walk your feet way over to the front right corner of your yoga mat. Maybe left ankle stacking on top. Thinking about like a croissant. And with your hips at center, you can do a little shimmy of your shoulders to the back right corner of your yoga mat to create this big crescent moon shape. Allow your left shoulder, left hip to be heavy towards the earth. And this angle of your body, this like croissant shape of your body, can be as dramatic or as gentle as feels good for you. Let your breath reach into the sticky moments of sensation along your left side. And we're just going to walk it back through center for our full body stretch. So left foot can kind of lead the way, right foot follows. Shimmy your shoulders to the midline, big reach. And then we'll take it all over to the left. So legs are going to go over to the left as far as you'd like. Maybe right ankle stacks on top. And then shoulders can scooch up and over to the left. You can think about releasing your right hip and shoulder down to the earth. And then flow your breath along the right side of your body. Feeling your inhale deepen the stretch. And your exhale as that invitation to release, to soften a little bit more. Maybe draw some focus to your jawline and notice if your teeth are clenched. Might find some movement through your jaw here. Open and close. Maybe a swallow to help release your neck, your throat. As you start to feel complete in your croissant, you'll bring it back to center. We'll full body stretch a moment. And circle sweep down to gather your knees to your chest. And a sway from side to side, perhaps a moment in your happy baby. And check in here, asking your body if there's anything else you'd like to explore before stillness. So if you want to take a final twist or a butterfly shape, maybe an inversion, allow yourself the next 5 to 6 cycles of breath to travel through anything else that your body is craving, and then to eventually settle into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. And if you wanted to use your blocks to find like a supported fish for your Shavasana today, you could stack your blocks behind your heart and head to find that front body opening at the last few minutes of practice. If you drop in and down, let your eyes close. Maybe take an audible exhale out. Settling into stillness and perhaps revisiting the intention that you set at the very beginning of your practice. When it feels right, take a deep breath through your nose. And as you're ready, open mouth exhale, sigh that breath out, release. And perhaps you take a second cycle like that, or just then allow your breath to flow and take a few moments just to be with the breath. And then maybe your hands begin to ease towards the space of your heart. Maybe you stay exactly as you are If you have a little bit of time and space in the rest of your morning for an extended Shavasana. And sealing in our practice at the moment, a pause of the deepest gratitude and appreciation for the yoga practice itself, for our bodies and our breath, and the opportunity to share space this morning to move and breathe together today. And we'll take one more deep inhale just as a group, nice and full. Whenever you're ready, open mouth, exhale, let it go. May yoga always provide us a path to compassion. And may our practices always serve as our teachers. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste and Gange Fa Choi.